How's it going, Marcus? Spencer maybe didn't have the best first half against Kentucky. Played a terrific second half. Did you guys talk at halftime? Did he come to you? Did you come to him? And how does that dynamic usually work between an OC and a QB at halftime?
It's interesting the way we do it. I mean, you'll see us. We just go sit down in chairs in between every series, midfield, and we're talking constantly. So the conversation really is a continual thing that goes from the start to finish. He was seeing it well against Kentucky. Missed a couple throws. I mean, the first one he missed, he came over making fun of himself. That was just uncharacteristic to miss that one. But I think he, like you said, he just kept grinding through it and ended up having a very productive second half.
After what you've seen on film from A&M on defense, just what kind of challenge do they present?
A huge challenge. I know statistically they may not be as high as they want to be in certain categories, but you look at the personnel. It starts up front with those guys. I mean, just a massive, athletic, lengthy defensive line that, is Rex fronts and Rex game plans. They're hard to pass pro against. They got a great scheme. The guys in the back end, their corners look like linebackers. I mean, 17 looks like a will linebacker. And, he's all over the field. The thing that jumps off the tape is just how hard they play in the secondary. Trying to get the ball on the perimeter is going to be really tough. They're run to the football. They're big. They're physical. So, there's issues all over the field.
Marcus with Spencer, I think he's had his three best passing games as far as a completion percentage over the last few weeks. I mean, I know some of that's been opponents, some of it's been scheme, whatever, but what is it about him and his comfort you've seen over this, 3-week stretch, I guess, in terms of where he's at and sort of his progression?
I think it's like anything. The more you can do something, the better you're going to get. I think that, like we talked about, communication, him telling me things he's comfortable with and going through the fire and going through some of these games and filling each other out. I think, we're getting better acquainted on exactly what we can do best. And I think, just his commitment to development, his commitment to improvement is what you're seeing right now. I mean, he's one of the greatest young men I've ever been around, and just his work ethic and his commitment to being the best he can be. And, we both know we're both, work every single day to be the best we can be. But that's really just jumps off jumps off at me is just how dedicated he is. So I think that's the reason you're seeing him improve, and I think you'll see that each week.
Hey Marcus, hope you're doing well. With Christian Beal-Smith injured now, what have you kind of seen from the rest of that running back room after Marshawn? Whether that's Juju McDowell or maybe a guy like Dante Miller, how's the rest of that group kind of coming along through the year?
Well, they've gotten some, got some reps at practice and got some game reps that maybe they wouldn't have gotten if Christian would have been healthy. So I think that'll help you down the road. Christian's fighting his way back, and be glad to get him back out there for the 1-2 punch. So Juju's not having to be that continually second back, and he can get out there and do some other things on the perimeter. So Dante, I think, has come in and done some really nice things. The last game got some reps, and then he keeps improving in practice. But just as a total room, I think getting Juju or getting CBS back is going to be huge.
With what you guys have been able to do on the ground the last few weeks, do you feel like that?
Did y'all hear somebody hit the ball just then?
I did.
I just distorted my brain. I couldn't remember what I was talking about, so I'm sorry about that. That was a great question about the running backs, but that freaked me out. All right, I'm sorry.
You good?
Yes, sir.
All right. The ground game success the last few weeks, do you feel like that's enough to say that can be the identity of the offense, or do you feel like it's something that's kind of evolving and still trying to figure that out as things go?
I think it has to be the identity. I think that, that's another group, the offensive line, that just continually is improving. And I know that, we may not have, the schedule, we were able to get our feet back under us, the last couple of games. But, to go up there against Kentucky and to be able to run the ball efficiently against that front and against those guys was, an accomplishment that we can build off of for sure.
Hey, Marcus. Eric Douglas yesterday had said Spencer is very cool and calm under pressure. He compared him to Tom Brady in that way. I was just curious, where you think that comes from with him and what kind of an asset it is, on the sideline and on the field to kind of have that demeanor.
The cool thing, and we'll try to answer this in layers, he is very cool under pressure. I think that comes from confidence. And the really neat thing about Spencer is he knows a lot of football. And there's certain things that he's learning about football. And he's not one of those guys that tries to act like he knows everything about football. If he doesn't know it, he accepts it. I don't know this, and he fights to improve and fights to get it figured out, which I think is an unbelievable trait of his. And I think, he's been in the fire. He's played some big-time games. So when things are going crazy, even I may be losing my mind, he may just wink at me and smile. And, that kind of calms me down. So, I mean, I don't know Tom Brady. I would never try to compare someone to Tom Brady, but just the demeanor is very calming. He's never too high, he's never too low. If everything's going great, you can't tell. If everything's going bad, you can't tell. So, that's a great trait for him to have. It's a nice compliment.
There was a lot of talk about Marshawn dating back to last season and him just getting comfortable with his knee and all that kind of stuff. Have you seen noticeable, I guess, growth that way and just in his confidence overall as he's gone further along the season?
Yeah, 100%. And, I think he's just, the more he can play, the more he can, get carries and learn, get tape and see things that, cuts that he's making, cuts that he's not making. I think it's only improving him. And, with every touch, he's getting more and more confidence. And you're starting to see, what we all knew was in there. You're starting to see that come out. I mean, super explosive, great balance, vision. He's catching the ball well out of the backfield, doing a really nice job in pass protection. So, and we just had to keep our head down and just keep improving and improving. And I think, he's got even better moments ahead, of the season.
And going back to Spencer against Kentucky, even when he was still kind of trying to find his way in the first half, it seemed like there were a lot of third downs where he made some of his better plays. And throughout the game, what can you kind of recall about those specific plays and what he was able to do on a handful of those big plays?
He extended the play on the first two conversions he got on third down to Josh. I mean, he extended the play. The first progression wasn't there. He had to move around the pocket. He kept his cool. His eyes didn't go to the rush. His eyes didn't go downfield immediately. Like, he just stayed within the play, scooted over and made two throws, two huge conversions for us. So, again, I think just the confidence of doing that and, the confidence of getting tape in this offense and seeing himself do it in our uniform, I think it's only helping him week to week. And then, again, can't say enough about his work ethic.
We saw, I think it was a 7-minute drive against Kentucky, put you up 2 scores, kind of a big one. We haven't seen the offense kind of control possession like that most of the year. I guess kind of what went into that possession, or can you remember anything specific about what made that one different?
Just running the football. I mean, you got to be productive on first down, stay out of third and long, and be able to convert and get first downs. I think we did that on that drive. It's something that we've got to continue to improve on, to help our defense and, keep them off the field as much as possible. But hopefully here in the last part of this season, the last part of the schedule here, we can continue to improve in the run game, and I think that will allow us to prolong some drives.
Marcus, I guess kind of to that in terms of the progression of this offense, when you look at this group from now compared to week 1 against Georgia State, I guess what stands out? What do you feel like has changed? What's different? What's better?
I watched that game during the open week, and I see I about threw up. It was bad. And so I can see your all's vision and what you're asking me, why you're asking me certain questions. But I don't want to sound like a broken record and a typical coach, but I mean, these kids, they just, like the O-line, all they hear about is how bad they are and how they suck, but it doesn't faze them. They just keep working, keep grinding. Spencer, our coaches, staff, everybody, we just keep working, keep grinding. We know we have a long way to go, but I think it's just the commitment to work and to develop and to improve that we're all focused on. I think that's allowing us to see small gains from week to week, and I think hopefully they can continue to show up. Awesome. Thank you all.